Y'all, today's guest is a Grammy-winning R&B star who gave us the ultimate cuffing season anthem with Boo'd Up and has been making us feel the love ever since. I'm talking about the one and only Ella Mai. Since hitting the scene, she's only continued to level up from new music to motherhood, all without compromising who she is. Her latest album is called Do You Still Love Me? But let's be real, the answer is yes. So let's get into it with Ella, because baby, this is Keke Palmer. Ella Mai. Now, is it Mai? I know everybody, because I know people be butchering that. We don't know what the I does. Us Americans, we're like, what does it do?
No, I think people, in some cultures, obviously, it is pronounced Mai. So I can understand why people say that. But yeah, it's Mai.
What's up, girl?
How are you?
I'm so glad. Every time that I know people, you get so annoyed with people saying this, but I don't hear your accent when you sing. Mm-hmm. So when I hear you talk, I'm like, my girl is from London.
Everyone's like, oh, wait, hold on. What's going on here?
Yes. I was asking you about my boy, Daniel Kaluuya, who's also from
South London.
Yes. So like, what's tea? Like, what's the energy there?
We definitely give like main character syndrome, like for sure. We're south side of the river. So there's a lot of talent that comes out of South London. So
okay, give me some of these names. Obviously, Ella Mai.
Yes, of course.
Y'all got that fine rap over there. What's his name? Stormzy?
Oh, Stormzy is from South.
Yeah. Well, you did the pre-show pull-up, and I'm excited. Yet again, guys, I've been having some good handwriting.
No,
I can actually
I was going to say, please excuse my handwriting on there, because I was doing it really quick, and it's really big, and I don't know why I was writing in capitals.
It looked good.
Like, thank you.
Okay, zodiac sign. I already knew this because I was listening to the album. Yes. I'm so very good, by the way. And you do the whole breakdown with the Scorpio piece.
I just had to put it in there.
Very Scorpio of you.
Very Scorpio.
But then you're double Scorpio. Mm-hmm. So it's your sun and your moon, but then your rising is a Cancer.
Yes.
Really lover girl.
Yes.
You call yourself a lover girl, and this nothing proves it more than this.
Yep. It's obviously both water signs, so very emotional, but like the Scorpio obviously comes off not emotional at all, but we really are inside. Once you break the wall down, definitely sensitive, and Cancers are just sensitive anyway. So it's a lot of emotion, a lot of water in there.
I'm a Cancer rising, so trust me, I get it.
Yes.
What are you most grateful for today? My son and the love I have around me on my journey. Yes. Amen. I feel the same way, girl. My son. Yes. We're gonna get into the babies, but it's too much with them. Why are they just so the ones?
It's crazy because I feel like, and I know you said we're gonna get into it, but I just feel like people always say it before you have kids, like, oh, your kids just become your world, and like you just don't really understand it until you have your own. Yeah.
No, you don't. Yeah. And how old's your little boo?
He's 1.5.
1.5. Yeah. Okay. A relationship or a friendship non-negotiable for you? Communication. I should have written good communication, because poor communication is not the communication that I'm looking for. But yeah, good communication. Even when I send my friends memes like on social media, a lot of my friends won't reply to the memes I've sent and then send me memes. And I'm like, I'm not watching this until you watch what I've sent you. So yeah, definitely communication. I love that. She's a communicator. What's a question you wish you were asked more in interviews? My love for soccer, in parentheses, football, because she's from London. Yeah. Come on. So you like football?
Love it. I used to play. I played for like 8 or 9 years, which is probably something that a lot of people don't really know about me. But yeah.
One of my homeboys, my girl, shout out to Candace, Leroy Sané, he played for Manchester. Are you familiar with him as a football player?
No.
Damn, Leroy.
I'm not a Manchester United fan or Man City. It depends what he is.
So
I'm an Arsenal fan. My brother is a Man United fan, so that's the ops a little bit.
Okay, shout out to Leroy Sané. I don't know much, but I knew him. Who is someone you've met that made you feel starstruck? These names are incredible. Beyonce, Stevie Wonder.
It's always going to be Beyonce for one, because I just but Stevie Wonder, I was just like, it didn't feel real. Like, it didn't feel like I was actually meeting him. And I got to sing with him at his he does like an annual show for Christmas for his foundation. And I got to sing with him, and I was just like, this is just not even happening right now. But
what did y'all sing?
Superstition.
Such a good Stevie song, too. And fun. Yes. I mean, all his songs they have fun, but that one is like very
Yeah. It was really fun, and he was really sweet, and like, it was a dream come true, honestly. Yeah.
I love that. I hear really good things. I think I met maybe Stevie once before, but I hear that he's very encouraging to the next generation, which really, I think is awesome.
Super open, really nice. Like, I feel like if I never actually asked him anything in terms of advice when I was there, but he was very warm, and I know that if I did, he would have. Yeah,
that's dope. Okay, last one. What's a mantra you live by and why?
Always show up as yourself. As cliche as it is, no one fills a space the way you do. We are all built different for a reason. I mean, it don't get no better than that.
It is cliche. I know people are probably like rolling their eyes like, yeah, that's what everybody says. But it really is true.
But I've started to realize that the whole point of something being cliche is because it's true. Like, it got so redundant that everybody was just like, okay. But it's like, guys, hold on to it though.
I agree.
Because a lot of times we forget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks for doing the pre-show pull-up. How are you feeling? I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
How is this new era of your life? I mean, we're so excited we have this album from you. You also have a baby. Yes. I mean, so much has happened since we first met Miss Ella Mai.
Yes.
So how would you describe your current vibe?
Oh my gosh, when I think about like how the world met me, I feel like I'm like a completely different person. And you probably feel like that even more so. But like, yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I've stepped into this new era of motherhood, and like I'm over 30 now, and I always say like, I feel like when women hit their 30s, it's just like there's just a different vibe. There's a different energy that is like hard to explain, but any woman that's over 30 knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Girl, yes.
Yes, exactly. And just waking up and being present in the moment and trying to appreciate things as they happen and just being surrounded by the people that I want to be surrounded by, you know, like not having to deal with stuff that I don't really want to deal with. That's where I'm at. Yeah.
I do think the baby helped with that.
Yes.
Like for whatever reason, the patience for things that we didn't even know we were outsourcing is gone.
It's because you just don't even have the time for it.
No.
Like you now your schedule is kind of on your baby, especially in the start of it. Like you just really don't have time for anything outside of what is like the priority at that moment. So I think, I'm enjoying life.
So what does your day look like? And I feel like you do something good that a lot of artists maybe can't do or don't know how to do, where we don't always know what's going on in Ella's life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it doesn't seem like you're being weird about it. It's just kind of like Ella living her life. You know, we're going to see her when we see her. She's going to show us what she want to show us. So like, what does it look like for you? Like, are you just, always with the baby? Do y'all go out? Are you traveling?
Yeah. It really depends. Like, right now, obviously, I'm doing, I released the album. So right now, I haven't been around him as much. This is probably like the longest it's been that I haven't like consecutively been with him. But it's been great because I know that he's taken care of and, I don't have to worry about him. So I'm really grateful for my village. But like typically on the days where I'm not working and I'm just at home, it would really just be we wake up. He has a nanny, so she'll give him his breakfast because I don't play about my sleep.
Shout out to the nannies.
Yes, absolutely. But I don't play about my sleep. I have to make sure I have a good 9, at least 9, which people think is excessive.
That's why you look so good.
Thank you. I try, but that sleep.
She getting sleep.
That sleep, yeah. The newborn phase for me was really rough because waking up every 2 hours was Anywho, yeah, so he'll be with his nanny for the morning and she'll give him breakfast and do activities, all the things. And then once I get him, we really just chill. It depends on the day. Like we can go outside, we'll go for a walk. We might stay inside and play. He's like really obsessed. I'm not an anti-screen time mom. So he's like really obsessed with Sing right now, the movie Sing, which makes me really excited because I feel like, oh, you might be a musical baby. So I'm like, yeah, let's watch that again and again and again. And he recently, the last time I watched it with him, he actually started singing one of the songs, just a tiny little part. But I was like, I see what this is. We're going to run with it. So yeah, really just spending as much time with him as I can do and whatever it is that he wants to do. Like I got him a kitchen for Christmas. So he's been obsessed with playing in his little kitchen and acting like he's making me food and stuff like that. So he's 1.5. So there's only, there's but so much.
Yeah.
Other than stuff like the Children's Museum or, taking him out for activity stuff. But
are you a movie person? Like, are you at home binging shows? Do you cook?
I'm not a huge movie person. It's like I'm not a huge movie person. I don't cook. I'm not really selling myself right now. Damn. I don't cook. No, I was not made to be in the kitchen. That's one thing I always say. Like, I'll clean. Yeah. I absolutely can
I like
clean.
Cleaning too.
Yeah, but cooking, I just like 3 hours of all the prep and cooking, and then I'm going to eat for 5 minutes. I'm just like, and then you have to clean after that. It's just like a whole thing. I'm like, and I'm like, I think if I put my mind to it, I would be able to cook, but I just like, don't really have the energy
in my mind. I also imagine you maybe like by a window. Like, are you writing? Are you journaling?
I mean, yes, I do love to journal. I love to put pen to paper. I was just speaking about this the other day. Like, I'm getting lazy and just doing stuff on my phone. But which is probably why my handwriting was the way it was, because I need to pick up a pen. But do you cook?
Yeah, I cook, but I'm like you. Like, I want to cook more. I like whenever I do it and I have the time, I actually love to get lost in it. It's a great time for an album. Listen to what new song, what new thing, or even a podcast. like this one. I love just how I can curate a vibe while I cook. And it's always good when you can also do it with somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my son will be in there or his cousins, you know. So I like that vibe. But girl, we having time.
Yeah.
So it's like you need time in order to cook. So I want to create more time for myself to just live in between the working. That's been big for me this year.
Yeah.
Girl.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. So big on your Scorpio identity.
Yes.
I have to know, when I think about Scorpio, I'm thinking assertive, I'm thinking spicy, some little stereotypical things. But is there an un-Scorpio trait of yours that you think you could identify?
Oh, I don't know, because as we said, I am sun and moon Scorpio. So it's very much Scorpio over here. It really is. But that's a great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that question since my identity really is Scorpio. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, we can come back to this. She said I'm Scorpio to the bone. And
I really am. I do feel like there are a few misconceptions with Scorpios, but I think it's just also Scorpio men and Scorpio women, very different. I think that's all signs, though.
All signs. But wait, let's talk about the misconception real quick, because I like that. So
I feel like people tend to think that Scorpios are super, super jealous. Like we're super jealous people.
In relationships.
Yeah. I would like to spin it and say I think we are more so territorial than jealous. And there's a thin line, but I do think those are two different things. I think it gets misconstrued for jealousy.
I've actually never seen in a friend or in I dated one Scorpio when I was a teenager. I've never thought jealous.
Okay.
I actually thought sometimes that y'all could be a little detached.
Really?
Not detached, in not a loving way, but very kind of cool, calm, and collected. You guys have always given me cool, calm, and collected.
I will say we are cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, and very kind of get it together because you'll lose it fast. That's what I always feel like I get from a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Virgos, I feel like we have misconceptions with Virgos where people think we're just know-it-alls or we're very and by the way, actually.
My brother's a Virgo and he's definitely like that.
People think Virgos are actually ass. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I just be wanting people to know the information.
Yeah, I think Virgos are just. I think the better word for it is particular. I think that's a good word. I think you should be particular, especially about things that you're passionate about and stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't. I think I have a lot of Virgos in my life, and I wouldn't say they think they're know-it-alls. I just think that they're very particular, and I'm okay with that because I'm a particular person too. So,
and that's why Virgos and Scorpios go together. Okay. Well, let's go back to the beginning. First of all, your mom named you Ella after Ella Fitzgerald. She sounds kind of like you with your son. Did she always see this singing future? Was she a singer?
No. My mom is tone deaf. Okay, she won't even be mad at me saying that because she really is. But I will say I always grew up around music. My auntie was a singer, and I grew up in church. My grandma's a minister, so there was always music around. But she did say my mom loved jazz music. As I'm called Ella, my brother is called Miles after Miles Davis. So yeah, she's always been a big jazz music lover, and she did tell me that she did wish when she named me. She's like, oh, maybe she'll be a singer, but she never really she just said it. She just put it out into the atmosphere, and then just never really thought anything of it until I started to grow, and she realized, because I did perform in arts from when I was little, so she kind of realized oh, maybe this will be a thing. But yeah, she cannot sing.
What is it like I just thought about this. What is it like in a London church? Did you grow up like that? Is it hey? Is it like the American churches?
Yeah, I will say I feel like American churches are a bit more I don't know if extravagant is the right word, but everything is bigger. I feel like in America. Do you know what I mean? So my grandma, we're Pentecostal.
Okay.
So it was definitely
different
still
vibe.
it was still quite
jumping.
It was definitely jumping. But my grandma's also Jamaican, so a lot of the people in the church are of Jamaican heritage too. So that brings a different vibe also. But yeah, American churches I think are a lot more. They're just. Everything is bigger in America.
My grandma's church was literally called New Candyland. Why would your church be called that?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And it was 3 hours. We had an intermission.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of them.
You spend the whole day at church.
Spend the whole day at church, but really good singing.
Yeah.
Really good. Okay, what was the first song that you remember writing? Back in your early days of becoming... a musician. What do you remember that being like?
Actually, when I think about it now, probably it was actually not that great.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
There is a very specific kind of joy that happens when you get 3 generations of your family all under one roof. And if you know, you know. I'm talking about mom teaching the grandkids something in the backyard, daddy on the grill doing what he does best, the cousins running around being feral in the best way possible. And let me tell you, that kind of moment, you're not really getting that in a hotel. In a hotel, everybody ends up in their own room, doors closed, doing their own thing. It starts to feel more like a logistics exercise than a family memory. But when I book a stay on Airbnb, like when I went to Big Bear, it's a whole different vibe. You get a real home in a real neighborhood with enough space so nobody's on top of each other, but still close enough that everybody's part of the same story. And that's what makes it special. Spring is the perfect time to do it before summer gets hectic and everybody's schedules take over. Find a home on Airbnb and get your whole family under one roof. Trust me, that's where the magic is.
But I didn't pick up songwriting until quite later on in my... So I went to school for music and, and songwriting was a class that we did. And I always used to think, I don't know why, but I always used to think that you had to be like this crazy poet or this crazy writer in order to be a songwriter.
Yes.
And just because I thought it was like an incredible skill, which it is, but I didn't realize, and although I grew up listening to music where it felt like people were, you know, really just explaining their lives, I didn't realize that like I could just explain my life or what I was going through and make it into a song until I did the songwriting class in school. And once I started to explore that, I was like, wow, I can do this. It's not something that like is super far-fetched. So I was practicing it more and I got in the studio. I was still living in London and I wrote a bunch of songs. I had a friend who was a producer and I just kind of just wrote out whatever I was feeling. It wasn't even really like what was going on in my life.
Yeah.
But there was like a group of songs I wrote. I can't remember which one was first, but it was about a relationship. And I was kind of just like making it up almost, honestly. But they were like a little bit darker than the lover girl that I am now. And I don't know if that was just, I don't know if that was just, I felt like it was easier to write about heartbreak at that time. But yeah, I had put it on SoundCloud. Like early days, but they were like really short and really, if I listen to them now, I'm going to be embarrassed. But like that was, I was probably about 17.
So angsty as teenagers. Yes. I was always like going through something. It's like, but what are you going through? Yeah. But that's really dope. I like what you said about songwriting because I think in general, that's how it can feel about the arts. But I feel that way, especially about writing. And, you know, when people first get started, and even when I first started getting writing, I always felt like there had to be some like type of big ass thing. Or, you know what I mean? When it's just like, it's just you.
Just write whatever you feel. And even just in terms of like dependent on the genre, even if we're taking genres out of it, just like, okay, a chorus, a pre-chorus, an outro, an intro, like how do we do A, B? Like, you know, I just always felt like there was this whole thing when it's really just like, just go in there and do what you feel. Yeah. Which I've learned obviously over my journey, but like at the start, it was like a terrifying thing for me,
When I was looking at, when we were getting ready to do this interview, I was like, how did I miss the fact that you was on X Factor?
I was, it's because it was the English X Factor.
Yeah, you was on X Factor with a girl group, Arise. So tell me about that experience and where that was in your like professional career. Like, you know, at what point were you when you did that? And then obviously you guys didn't make it. But.
This was probably like the year after I started songwriting. So I was around 18, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And I went to school for music. And one of the girls I was in class with was my really good friend. She told me like, oh, there's this producer that like wants to put together a girl group. Now, I never wanted to be in a girl group. I was just like...
She said main character, did y'all understand?
Not even, but I was just like, that just sounds like a headache. Like I just, it wasn't anything that I ever wanted to do. But I was like, you know what? I'm in school for music. I'm not really like, I'm songwriting, but I'm not really doing loads. Like, let me just see how it goes. So we go to the studio with this producer and we meet another girl, and that's how we end up as a 3 in the girl group Arise. So the school that I went to, X Factor holds, they almost like scout at music schools. Yeah. So they were scouting and we were like, should we try this? Like, what do we have to lose? We don't have anything to lose. So we were like, okay, cool, we're going to try it. And we went through a couple auditions. There's like a couple of auditions before you actually get to the TV part. And we got through all of them and everything seemed like it was going so well. I was like, oh my God, we're like about to win this competition. We didn't even get to the TV stage yet, but it just felt like it was going so well. I was like, okay, cool. We might have something here. We get to the first TV round. They loved us. 4 yeses. Like, oh, you guys are just bringing something new. Like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And we're like, everything was really exciting. This was also my first time experiencing anything that was on TV. So that was definitely a different experience. Yeah. We get to the next round and we got 4 no's. They completely changed
4 of them. Ain't there only 4 judges?
All 4 that said yes. turned around and said no. And I was like, dang, like we must have been really bad this time. Like, I don't know. And I didn't feel like we were, but I was like, oh, okay. And then like, we didn't really take it to heart because this was something that we did just kind of off the whim and like, oh, we don't have anything to lose. It definitely did like show me more into how TV works for sure. So that I'm grateful for. But then after that, not because of X Factor, but just because we kind of just decided, cool, we're going to all kind of do our own thing. And then we dismantled and then, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen any of those girls?
I just saw the one that I went to school with, who was like my really good friend. I literally just saw her just after Christmas. We used to practice at her mum's house, like be in her mum's kitchen and her mum would cook for us and we would be practicing our harmonies and stuff. So I went to their house to see the whole family. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I mean, well, I remember when you were discovered. I think most of anybody that was online, 2016, in that era, we remember seeing your videos because they were like going viral after a while. Like it was like you would do something and then we were like, oh, who's that girl again? And then DJ Mustard, he reached out to you. He obviously signed you.
Yes.
Tell me what that was like. And if there was any like apprehension or concern, because I don't know if you've been to had been to America yet or, you know, anything.
I actually lived in New York for high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd been back and forth. I also have family out here. But I will say New York and LA are two completely different things. So when I was doing my covers, like the very first one that I did, I obviously, again, I was just doing it on a whim. I'm like, I don't have anything to lose. We had just broken up, the girl group. So I'm like, cool, what can I do to try and put myself out there? This was when Instagram only allowed you to post 15 seconds.
That's
like,
so OG.
This was the very start of Instagram video. Like no reels, nothing like that. So I was like, okay, well, I have 15 seconds and I kind of need to make the 15 seconds count. So I was like, cool, had this whole plan of like whatever songs were popping at the moment, like let me do those because that's, you know, what people are, you know, used to hearing. Yeah. So I'm doing all of this not realizing like what it would be or knowing what it would be, but I was just like, let me try. So a couple videos in, as you said, they started to go viral. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I should probably keep doing it. Like, so I just kept doing a whole bunch of different covers. Mustard found me and I happened to be in New York visiting my friends from high school, and he was doing Made in America Festival, which is in Philadelphia. So he was like, you know, when he first hit me up, he was like, what's your situation? Like, you know, I really love what you do. And I had no situation, no management, no nothing. I was literally singing into my phone in my bedroom, in my mom's house with a YouTube backing track. I didn't even have a mic, like didn't have anything. Literally just, looked anyhow. I was just like, whatever. So I was like, I don't have a situation. Like, I'm just, you know, I'm an aspiring artist, blah, 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 blah. So he was like, okay, cool. I would love to work with you. So I told him, oh, I'm going to be in New York, X, Y, and Z. And so we made it happen when he was in Philly and I was in New York. We do this first studio session in New York. I take my friends with me because, again, I didn't have management. And I was like, I don't want to show up by myself. I don't know what I'm walking into. But genuinely, I could have walked in there by myself. Like, it was just such a warm environment. Like, he literally just said to me, I just want to see how you work. I'd never been in a studio this size. This was like a big studio.
Wow.
I'm used to like makeshift studios or little studios, and which were fine, both work, but like I was just like, damn, this is like a little bit intimidating. This is Mustard, had hits or like loads of hits already, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna give it my best shot. And we recorded 3 songs that night, I remember. And like, I left the studio not really knowing, like he gave me creative control. He was like, I just want to see what you do. I'll give you whatever you want to pick from this pack. You do what you do, and let's see. So I did that, and I thought it was really cool that he wasn't kind of like over my shoulder saying, do this, do that. And from there, he was like, oh, I want to get you out to LA. But I'd also been in situations too where like people would say, oh, I want to get you here, I want to get you there, and it doesn't work. So I'm like, I didn't know what was happening with those songs. I could have been demo artist, whatever.
Right. True. That happens.
Right. So I left and I was just like, well, I gave it my best shot. We'll see what happens. And then he followed up and he was like, I want to get you to LA. What's your schedule? Blah, blah, blah. So we got in contact with like his management, and I still, again, didn't have management, but we made it work. And I came to LA 3 times within a year, which is when we made all of the songs that are on the first EPs that we put out. And that was 10 years ago now, which is insane. I'm just like, where does time go?
But I love what you were saying, because I think all producers are different. Like, but Mustard does have this vibe where, and I think, again, when you think about his tracks and how he can or his beats, how he can transform a song, it does very do your thing and then let me do my thing. And then it becomes this big piece.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And the beautiful part about it, people always ask me, like, in this 10-year relationship that me and Mustard have had, like, what has changed? And honestly, our process is still exactly that same way. And that's something that I've always really appreciated because I've never felt, don't get me wrong, he will always tell me the truth. He'll always be like, I don't know if this works. I don't know if that works, whatever. And I've also like, I'm signed to him, but I'm allowed to work with any producer that I want to work with. It's never like, oh, you just only have to work with me. He's always been very, very open. But it's always been like that. And I think that really, really helped me gain my own confidence because I could also trust myself without feeling like, okay, whatever Mustard says goes. And, you know, and even if he disagreed with me with something, if I was like really strong and like, I really like this song and he was like, I don't think it's the best, but if this is what you want, then we'll do that. He's always been a very, very amazing mentor and really honest. And I'm just really grateful for that relationship because I know everybody's situation is not like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. And definitely, I was interested. I mean, it was interesting hearing you say this because I was thinking when I was listening to the album, it was a different vibe than usual that he would usually give us some, you know, what we know, a mustard on the beat.
And I think that's really what's really interesting also about our musical relationship is because in the timing that he met me, he said he wanted to venture into R&B. You know, he was definitely just like a hip hop producer. Yeah. And I think it's amazing when you look at my catalog and just the stuff that he's done, even like with Rihanna or, you know, he is definitely not what you would expect Mustard to produce. And I think that is it's really cool to be a part of that in his story also because he's very much a main part of my story, but to also be a part of that in his story is really cool.
What would you say to other people about your story? Because it is so interesting. I look at people like yourself, and even if we think about like OG, like, you know, back in old YouTube days with Soulja Boy or Justin Bieber, like we've had a lot of talent over the course of time come from social media. How much of that, because now it's overloaded, and I think it's really hard to be seen. So like some of it is like, obviously you're talented as hell, but then some of it is timing and just, you know, things happen at the right, like, what would you say to that, you know, for artists? Yeah, because it's like,
I literally, in my case, I would say really timing, because it's funny because I think a lot of the time when I was doing my Instagram videos or even like when I first started releasing music, people kind of still knew me as the girl who sings covers on Instagram.
Sure.
Like, I didn't really get to like Ella Mai until Boot Up happened. And even at the start of Boot Up happening, people were still like, who is this? Like, people didn't know I was English. People, you know, like, as you said, when I sing, you can't hear my accent. So I think like timing, and that time, like you said too, back in the day, YouTube, like it was like Vine days. It was all of those things. It definitely was very different. And now it is very oversaturated. But I think if I was to give anyone advice in this day and age, and it's very different now. So I don't know if this would be great advice, honestly. But if I was to try and give someone advice, I would kind of like the mantra that I said to you, just kind of, you always kind of have to show up as yourself. I think it's easy with social media to have imposter syndrome because you see so much of what everybody else is doing. So, I mean, like you can look at it, even take out music and just look at content creation and whatever goes viral, then like 50,000 other people do that same trend. And it's just like, it's kind of the luck of the draw because it can work for some people, but it doesn't always work, you know, for everyone. But I think just trying to find things that make you an individual.
Yeah.
In a world where everything is so much the same.
Because really what I'm hearing you say, if we even just go and compress it further, brand.
Yes.
You need a brand.
Yes.
People got to figure out how to find their brand
and
voice.
That's tough.
It's very tough. It's literally something that I focus on always trying to teach and help even with myself. Like with my platform, Key TV, that's kind of like one of the main messages of it is like how to build a brand and find a way to make people want to come to you for what only you can do. And that's like, that is not difficult. And most of the time it takes money, trial and error, a bunch of practice, which is very expensive. But it's like, you know, if you can find a way, like every little moment to invest in yourself, it's worth it because that's how you find your voice. Well, obviously, your voice is amazing, and I agree with you that when Boot Up happened, I mean, that's when everybody knew. You know, that, okay, Ella Mai, she's coming through. You know, she's somebody that you need to pay attention to. It's a Grammy-winning record. I mean, 2018, you won a Grammy. This must have been quite crazy.
Insane.
Because it was like, I was just, you know, over there in London at the church. and now I done won a Grammy on my first, essentially, project. I mean, I feel like this was from your first project.
These were from my first EPs. It was my first ever Grammy nominations. It was my first Grammys, going to the Grammy. Everything was just happening so quickly. I was just kind of like, what is going on right now?
Did you feel any pressure after that moment? Like, because when everything happens, it's like, woo, and then it comes down, and then it's like, So now, what does it mean to do it again?
Yes.
What does it mean to have continued success? Are people going to think I'm a one-hit wonder? You know, how were you dealing with all those questions?
To be honest, I think being as young as I was, I mean, I wasn't super young. I was 24, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think being like so new in the industry, I was like a little bit naive to what was actually happening. And I honestly, when I look back now, I think that actually helped me deal with the pressure of it, because now I'm very much aware of how the industry works, how, you know, like I see the ins and outs. I've been in it for 10 years now, so I'm very aware. At that time, I had kind of just got here. Like, you know, it was my first maybe year or two, maybe my second year, but definitely my first year on like this grand scale. So having Mustard by my side obviously helped, because he had been in the industry for a lot longer, so he could like kind of steer me in which direction to go. But I think when it came now to making my sophomore album, I was happy with this. Obviously, I'm forever indebted to Boot Up, and then we followed up with Trip, which was like a great follow up. And I think
it really was.
Thank you. That kind of relieved me of the one hit wonder thing, because that I was like, okay, cool. I think we're good. Even if I never do anything ever again in my life, I don't think you can call me a one hit wonder.
Okay,
and that was very important to me, because but even so, I think that people saying one hit wonder is like looked at as a bad thing. Do you know how hard it is to get that one hit?
Yeah, I agree with you. And what does it mean? Really, when people say one hit wonder, they just mean like something that's not a massive hit. Because half the people that be calling one hit wonders have full on albums, full
blown
careers,
discographies,
fans, you know what I mean, all that type of stuff. So I agree with you. It's really fake in any regard. I mean, unless there's maybe like 1%.
But even if somebody is a one hit wonder, let's just say we take out all of that and they really just had one song that hit, like some people don't get that in their whole career.
It's true.
So it's just I feel like it's looked at so negatively, but it's you're lucky if you get that. So I was really, really grateful, one, for that, for it to happen so early in my career. Also, then the success of my debut album was also just huge. I was like, when I went to record my sophomore album, I'm like, oh, so where do we even begin? Because like, I was really like, I know there's a sophomore curse. That's one thing already. Yeah. My debut album was so successful. Boot Up, Trip, like it was so successful. I'm like, do I need to make another Boot Up? Like, do I need to make another Trip? Like, is my sophomore album supposed to sound exactly like my debut album? You know, I mean, I was very confused and a little bit conflicted, and I think I was overthinking it for sure. And I remember Mustard sat me down, kind of at the start of the process, and was just like, look, just do what you do. Yeah. Like all of the rest of it, we will figure out once we get to the end of the process of recording. But while you're recording, if you think about all this stuff, you're not going to produce what you want to produce. And then COVID hit. So it was even more time to overthink, because we were just really just like sitting at home.
COVID was like a lifetime ago. Like it really, we all went into a time warp. I think we're still in the wormhole of that, because it changed everything. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So during that time, you were just were you writing? Or
I was writing, I was recording, and I was just kind of just like trying to figure it out. Halfway through, studios opened back up, but it was like, you only had like a limited amount of people that were allowed to be in there. Everybody was wearing masks unless I was recording. Like it was just a very different vibe. So that also played on what am I supposed to do? Because we didn't even know if people were ever going to tour again. Yep. So it was just like a very weird time. And I recorded 80 songs in my sophomore album process, which is the most that I've ever I mean, I'm only 3 albums in, but even so, like it was just excessive, because I was just overthinking it, and the timing of it was just So
in my mind, because I'm obviously, you know, getting your music, you know, I'm hearing it, and there's a very clear sense of self. There's a very clear through line. I don't know what you're going on in your world when you're making it, but it seems like you know who you are, and we know what to expect from you. Yeah. But I don't know, maybe was there a moment where you were compromising or thought that you should, or I got to flip the sound up or change my conversation?
No, I think every time I step into the booth or into the studio, I have like, I am a confident person. I'm definitely an assertive person, like very much Scorpio, as we said. And as I was recording and writing, I didn't have the doubt. Yeah. Like, even if some sessions weren't as great as the others, and I was like, oh, I don't really love this. I'm just like, whatever, okay, cool, we'll come back tomorrow. It was really after I left the studio and thought about the whole process and like looked at it as a whole piece, where I was like, oh, am I doing this right? But I will say the people around me throughout my whole journey have always really, really helped keep me grounded and helped keep me up where I want to be. And I think that's really important.
Who would those people be, you'd say, actually?
Oh, my gosh.
Like your mom, I'm sure.
My mom, 1,000%. She's always been like my strongest supporter, like in anything. My brother, my grandma, my friends. Like I still have, most of my friends are still my friends that I had before any of this even happened. So they definitely will keep me grounded. Like I remember when we were going to Wendy's and we only had $5 and we were sharing a meal. They absolutely will keep me grounded. But yeah, I think I've just always had a really good support system, and I think that's really helped because I being in it now, especially for 10 years, I can see if you don't have that, how it's very easy.
Girl.
How it's very easy to get lost, yeah.
Very. But we got to get into the numerology of it all because, girl, you're born on November 3rd.
Yes, I am.
But then you released a trilogy of EPs as your first project after getting signed. Then you released a 3-track EP titled 3 on your 30th birthday.
Yes, I did.
You have a tattoo of a 3.
I do.
So what is this 3 going on?
I just love that. I love that number. I think 3 is a great number. Obviously, I'm born on the 3rd, which always, I don't know, it just always held a like really special place to me in my heart.
That's
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like 1 and 2 are also very special numbers, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about a 3. Like, and I think I've always, when I think about my friendship groups even, I've always kind of traveled in 3s. The girl group I was in was a 3-piece. Like, 3 has just always been a
3-piece nuggets.
Yeah, a very prominent number in my life. So yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, because I wanted to know what else it meant to you. I have numbers that feel that way to me, but I'm like, I loved how you really lined it up. I'm like, she on that left eye, low key.
Well, a little bit. And this is now my 3rd album that I just released. And obviously I'm going to release more, but like so far, this is my favorite.
She's like, 3rd
project.
album, bye-bye.
No, I'm like, oh, I've done 3, maybe? No.
We definitely need more. Now, I thought this was also cool. For your Did You Miss Me tour in 2025, you revisited some of your first venues.
Yes.
You're very sentimental.
Very.
I'm learning this about
extremely,
you. Yeah, so like what was it like
sentimental.
being back in those spaces again?
It was like a time warp, honestly, because I did it in 2017 was my very first time I headlined my own shows. So going back to these venues, 2 of them, I did 6 shows. 2 of the venues that I originally did don't exist anymore. So we had to kind of pivot and find a venue that was a similar size in a similar area. So that was fine. So, but even so, just being able to, it'd been a while since I was on stage. So I said to my agent, like, I just kind of want to do something to end the year. We knew obviously the album was dropping start of the year. So I was like, what can we do that's like special and makes me feel like I'm giving back to my fans, also for just being always so patient with me because I take long breaks in between my albums, but also for me, like I haven't been on stage in a while. I just kind of want to feel that energy again.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we redid what we did in 2017? And she loved it. She was like, I think that's an amazing idea. It's like, really intimate shows. And I can kind of feel like I'm having a conversation with people as opposed to it being, just like, okay, we did this whole production, which is great in itself too. But I just wanted something to feel like how it used to feel when everything first started. Because I feel like I don't feel like you ever get that feeling back. And I think a lot of the time we're chasing that feeling almost, even though things progress and you want them to progress and they become great in their own way, in the new way. I just kind of wanted to feel that feeling again. And that's exactly what it did. I was so grateful to be able to do that and kind of get my feet wet again before we released this album and do a whole bunch of other shows. But it was great. I was like so close to everyone. People were like, I was doing old songs, like my old set list that I don't really do anymore. People were screaming out like, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? And it was just, and we would just kind of improvise. And it was honestly everything I wanted it to be. Yeah.
What do you contribute to your breaks in between your projects? Because I think that's like, that to me makes me think about like TLC or even like a lot of the OG 90s groups and stuff like that or early 2000s, like especially with R&B where people really did take a lot of time in between. And I know that there's maybe more people that do that in these days, but I do feel it's rare. I feel like most of the time everybody's like 7 years, 7 albums, boom. And it's like, that's great, but I do think there's something special to what we used to have where it's like people like 5 albums, this is what happened in those 5 years. So what, does it just happen for you? Or is it intentional?
Yeah, it's never like extremely intentional. I will say that. It's never like, right, I'm taking off 4 years and my next album will come out in 4 years. It's never that. It just kind of has been how it's gone, really, for me. And I think in the same way you said, like, one thing that's big for you this year is making time to live. I'm very big on the fact that, like, I have to go and live my life in order to be able to create. Like I need something to speak about. Like if I'm and I'm always writing in between and having ideas and writing stuff down, but like I feel like I need to live and really experience things and like feel like, okay, cool, I'm ready to put this on a record before, instead of just going in the studio, to just go in the studio and be like, oh yeah, I'm in the studio today.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I want to have something to speak about. And it just so happened that each of my albums have been 4 years apart, and it wasn't super intentional. First one being that obviously, like I said, COVID also happened. This one in between, I had a baby, so like it kind of just happened that way. But I'm also not, I don't like oversaturation. I much prefer quality over quantity. So, which is also why I said I'm really grateful to my fans. They give me the space to be able to do that and not feel like, oh my God, I'm going to be forgotten if I take too long. But yeah, I really feel like I need to feel proud of what it is that I'm putting out. And if that takes a little bit longer, I would much rather it take longer and put out something that I'm really proud of, as opposed to like, oh, I just need to put this out because everybody's putting something out. Yeah.
Yeah, but to that point, you do make songs that live even when you're not making new songs. You know what I mean? Where it's like 4 years could go by and we're still listening to what happened, at the beginning of those 4 years, which I think is great. It's very hard to do.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Do You Still Love Me?
Yes.
Released February 6th, this third album. So when did you know you was done with it? And when did you know that this was the album?
So we went through like different versions of this album, I will say. We knew we were done with it, probably like really, really done with it, probably like fall of last year. or like end of summer last year.
Okay.
So not that long ago, but we just wanted to, we also wanted to do a complete rollout this time and kind of make it, I really wanted to like bring people into my world a little bit more. So we wanted to create a real, I don't know, like a world really, that you feel kind of immersed when you listen to the album. And that again goes back to the albums I feel like that I grew up listening to. They really created a world that you felt like you were like in, when you listen in. So we knew we were done around summertime-ish. And I don't know, it was weird because we don't have any features on the album, but every time we listened to it, we kind of just like didn't feel like anything was missing. And it wasn't even like, I'm doing an album with no features because I want it to just be me. It just kind of happened that way. But it was kind of, I was like, wow, nobody feels like anything is missing. So this is the album. And it was fun. It was probably the most fun I've had recording. As I said, with my sophomore album, I was like really in my head. My debut album, I was like, present, but so much was happening that I just feel like I was just like going with the flow. This one I was like, I just want to go in the studio and have fun. Like I want to remember why I love music, remember why I love making music, and just whatever comes out comes out. And if we love it today, we love it today. Hopefully we love it tomorrow, and if we don't, then we'll try again. I just didn't want to put any pressure on myself. I was also pregnant and postpartum recording this album, so that was another that was another reason why I didn't want to stress at all. I was like, I cannot be in here like my sophomore album because it's also that's dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
So we kind of just created a space where I was with like the people that I'm most comfortable with, and like we just did it like that. It was very few people around, and just had fun. I didn't want anything to feel super super pressured, and that's
I love what
out.
you said about that. It felt very like immersed in my world, and you opened up to us, because I did feel like I've obviously listened to your music, and I feel like again this is an extension of that. But you did go really deep. I wasn't sure if these are like just stories that you're making up, or if this is really your life, because it was vulnerable.
Yeah, it was definitely vulnerable.
Yeah, like was you scared at any point? Because like again, you're private, so it's like we don't know. We just know you had a baby. You popped up. It was like, damn, the baby was she was doing something, But then when we hear the album, it's like you really there's love.
Yeah.
And I think that is such a sweet thing to hear, because again, this is no shade to what's going on, because whether people are in love or not, we do hear a lot on the radio where it's like, get them out of here. We don't want to do, and that's fine. We be there for that too. But you weren't afraid to be like, it's me and you, baby.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I think that's just me as a person also. Like, so I was like, as I was recording this album, I don't think I even actually realized how vulnerable I was being at the time. But also when you're pregnant, I feel like your hormones are just going all over the place. So when I look back on it in hindsight, like I wasn't even thinking about it like, oh, do I let people in or whatever? It was just, I was just making the music that I felt, and it felt good. So before we released, I was like, this is definitely more personal than my previous two albums. But like, I feel like the music that I grew up listening to, people kind of did let you into their world a little bit more as the journey progressed. So I'm still in control of what I'm putting out there. And I was fine with it. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to dig a little bit deeper into my world and the way that my brain works and the type of person I am, while still holding things very close to me and that being okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. What did people very close to you, like your mom, say, or even your partner, hearing you about to put this out? Like,
you know what's so funny? There's one song on the album that we recorded on Valentine's Day last year. And I remember playing it for my best friend. And he was like, this has been my best friend from high school, like known him for 15 plus years. He was like, there is no way that you're putting that out. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, and he's like, I just know you. Like, there's just no way. And so when I showed him the final track list, he was like, I'm proud of you. Like, I never thought that you would open up that much. And he was like, I'm really like, you should be proud of yourself. Because the person that I've known for 15 plus years would definitely be like, nope. But I don't know, as I get older and definitely, like you said, becoming a mom, I just felt like it was, it was one of those things. And everybody around me really, I think, loved to see that that this is the way I feel. And I feel comfortable enough to share that. I feel safe enough to share that. So,
And would you say he was the baby that, like, because I feel like this for me, when I had my son, again, we all are like, I'm 100%, but something happens that you realize there was a whole other 100% you had not even tapped into. So you would say it's the same for you, that
1,000%.
That's why you were like, oh, I didn't even know I felt like giving this. And that's kind of how that,
I feel like your perspective when you become a mom just changes completely. Like, it's actually kind of wild, because even while you're pregnant, you're still like, that a baby is coming, but you still don't know exactly what to expect. You can prepare yourself. You can say, right, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then when the baby comes, it's whatever the baby wants. So that can go completely out the window. But yeah, I think my son has really made me look at life very differently. I used to be a very black and white person. I used to be like, it's this or it's this, and there's no gray area. He's just completely changed my perspective and how I look at things. And I know that, like, I literally cannot control everything. Some things are just going to happen. And it's not even a big deal to not be in control as much as I used to. Like, sometimes I kind of want to embrace the beauty of just spontaneity. So, he definitely, I would say it's because of him. I'm thankful for that.
So walk me through some of the songs, maybe like the top 3 or, 4 or 5, however many you feel, that mean the most to you on the album, and why.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
I think the very first one, There Goes My Heart, is really special to me. I think just because it was really just like allowing myself to feel, even if like I have felt other things before. I feel like if, you go through heartbreak and you're like, I'm not doing this again and whatever else. But really just kind of opening yourself back up and allowing that to happen again was what There Goes My Heart is about. Just really kind of like, because I'm also a very independent person. I think you definitely give me, So I'm just kind of like, I could do it by myself if I want to. Do you know what I mean? But then, just having a space where you feel safe enough to let your guard down and just kind of be you. In the chaos of all of what's going on in our careers, our work life, that's really special. So that's really what that song is about. And
it's also beautiful because when you are a public figure, like as a woman, maybe it's different for guys, but as a woman, when you're so obviously independent and also private, but still so deeply loving, it can be hard for people to understand that, and they want you to prove it. They always want you to come on Front Street and be like, and this is where we did.
Which is crazy.
And it's unfair because you're actually showing that love by keeping it private.
Right.
You know what I mean? And still keeping something too. So I really get that, because a lot of times people would think that the way that I'm saying or how I am, that I'm like being cold, but it's like, actually no, like I'm the most loving ever, but I'm protecting my love by not being too much.
And I don't think that people who are not in it could understand it, because you don't do, like, this is not your world. So and I think that things look very different all the time. So they see the music industry or they see the entertainment industry and they think, okay, this is how it goes. And it's actually like completely different. So it's easy to obviously judge from the outside and say, oh, I would do this or I would do that or whatever. But it's just a completely different thing once you're in it. So yeah, I think it's important to keep some stuff to yourself. I think it's important to protect, what it is that you love. And I think we give so much of ourselves anyway, just in terms of us sitting down and having this conversation, you showing up to work every day, me showing up to work every day, me showing up to the studio, you give so much of yourself anyway that you should feel like I have some stuff to myself. I think that's an important balance.
And I don't want to perform love.
Yeah.
For you. You know what I mean? I don't, you know what I mean? I think that we gotta be, that's not
And I think it's hard enough, relationships in general, whether that be platonic, like with your family or whatever, or loving relationships, it's just like, they're hard enough to navigate outside of the public eye. Like, even just everyday people who are not famous, have hardships. It's just life. That's just life. So to want somebody to do that, like, in front of everybody, to be under a microscope and have everybody saying a whole bunch of things is just like, I would prefer not to. Yeah. So, and that's, and that's that. But yeah, There Goes My Heart was really kind of just like opening myself back up again. So that's one that's really special to me. Little Things is a very special song to me. And I was really, it obviously originally came out on my 3-piece EP called 3, and we put it on the album, because it flowed so well with the story. But when we put that EP out, it was my 30th birthday. So I was just like, I've been gone for a while. Let me just give them a little something. And those songs are from this album process. So it was kind of just like, we hadn't even picked the track list yet, but this is what we put together. And like, to see the response that it got and how many people loved it. And again, it's like a true lover girl, like very lovey-dovey song. Wow. I was like, this is really cool, because it means that people are still out there looking for love songs. And like you said, in a world where a lot of it is like, get out of here type of thing. So that really also gave me the confidence more so with my album too, because my album is such like a lover girl album. I'm like, oh, there is space for this.
Absolutely.
There is absolutely space for this. So yeah,
I don't even have nobody, and it was good to just be like, and that would be the vibe if I did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, just to imagine. Yeah.
Put you in the era, so it's, I couldn't agree more.
So yeah, Little Things is a special song for me also. And then I would say, number 3, I would say, I have a bunch of different favorites on a different day. Like, depends on whatever day it is. But Chasing Circles, which is towards the end of the album, is really special to me. It has My Son Is Laughing at the end of it. And that was one of the ones that I was like, do I put this on there or do I not? Because I think it was really reflective of postpartum for me, I think. And that's a whole thing in itself. And I will say I was quite lucky. I didn't suffer with postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety, but like, I can absolutely see how easy it is to get really, really like lost in that time period, because there's a lot going on. And that's why, again, I come back to like the village that I have around me and all the help, because if you don't have that, I can't even imagine how difficult that time period is, even though you have something that is like one of the best things that's ever happened to you, but you're going through so much hormonally, like your whole world has just changed. And that song really is kind of like, it just indicates the part of it where even on the days where I felt just like a tiny bit lost, I know I have my village, but I know in my heart of hearts I have myself. I'm always going to find. So it's really about self-love, but like knowing how to find myself again.
Again. That knowing that I'm going to have myself and I'm going to have myself again. I love those two things, because that's really what happens as a mom. You lose that self. Yeah. The self that you knew, she's not coming back. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, she's gone, but I still have a self, and this is now a new self.
It just looks a little bit different.
And she honestly like a bad bitch, because she
absolutely
you know what I mean? Like, she actually know more than the last one, But that's the hurdle. I feel like for me it was, and I definitely did have like anxiety just about. You talk about there goes my heart. There goes my heart.
Yes, outside of your body.
That shook me up a bit, because I was ready to fight everybody.
Absolutely.
Even I remember when I first came home from the hospital, my mom was holding the baby and was like, "Go lay down. You go." She was just being loving. I went into my room and I'm like,
what do I do?
Like, where's my child? And it's like, girl, your mama got the baby. So that is I relate so much.
Yeah, to that. It's definitely like it's a tough time period also, because you don't know what to expect. Like I was saying before, like you can put all of your ducks in a row, honestly, and it could be completely different when the baby gets here. So yeah, it's just interesting, because you don't know what type of person you're going to be after you have a child. You don't even know what type of person your child is going to be. So there's beauty in it, of course. It's amazing. It's probably the best thing I've ever done in my life, honestly. But yeah, just kind of finding myself again and knowing that even though I might feel like this today, tomorrow can be way better. And in 6 months, and once they get, now he's 1.5, I'm like, it's completely different to the newborn stage. And, you know, like it just feels, he's not even super self-sufficient yet. He can do things, obviously, but like I can only imagine how it feels once you have like a 5-year-old who can, you know, and you have a 3-year-old. So
yeah, I'm about to say, like, the 3-year-old, you don't even know what's coming when they get to that age. They be like really talking back. My son will be like, no, I'm going to get you. You the bad mama. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't care. He turns into like a WWE wrestler. No, get out of my room.
But it's so funny to watch their personality, like,
girl, develop.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, you don't have to answer this, but did you do any of the breastfeeding? Were you into any of that?
Yeah, I wasn't into it. I will say that. If I'm being truthfully honest, I really wasn't into it. I did do it and I tried, but I had like, I was overproducing. And
period.
But I was struggling to get it out.
His latch was a mastitis.
Yeah, it was getting to that. And I said to my doctor, listen, of all the other things that we have to deal with postpartum, one thing I do not want to deal with is an infection in my breast. Like that's just not. So I was like, stop this, please.
Yeah,
just end it here. He's absolutely fine. He's huge. He looks like a 3-year-old, and he's 1.5. So like. Obviously, if your journey is easier and that's what you want to do, I'm all here for it. But for me personally,
the baby good regardless.
Yeah,
the baby getting fed.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason that formula is there. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I did do it for not for long. I did try, and once I tried, and I was like, I gave it my best shot. I was like, no. Did you breastfeed?
I did. I did breastfeed for a while, and it was cool. But I mean, I agree with you. It's like a full-time job.
On top of the full-time job that you already did. It's
a
crazy.
lot. And then I was gotten into the pumping, and now I'm walking around with a whole device.
Yeah,
I got like a damn Mary Poppins bag. That shit. And then sometimes people would lose my milk and at that point you're dead.
Yeah, because I worked really, really hard on this.
For 4 ounces, you know how hard and I mean it was. And then you get online and you have these people with these big jugs talking about this is what I did just in 15 minutes, and it's this big, and it's like, and you're dead too. Like it's so stressful. I was really stressed, babe, and I was doing everything I could. Yeah. But I think what really, like, honestly, what helped me to also like do it, and this is like a vanity piece, but I'm sure you can, as after mom, you're trying to get yourself back right. It really did help me get back, like, my body.
Oh,
and
yes,
stuff
yes,
too.
It makes you lose weight.
It made me look. So I was like, I felt like it also was like, I was like, just hold on. You know, just
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
This is for me, and this is for you. You know. So but yeah, I agree with you though. At the end of the day, the baby got fed regardless. It was like, I
was like, I did my part. I tried my hardest, and as long as he's not starving, which he absolutely wasn't, I was like, cool. I'm good.
Literally, were you into like working out or anything, or just like hiking? Was that a concern for you?
I worked out my whole pregnancy. I stayed working out my whole pregnancy because for some reason in my mind I felt like I was like not gonna carry well.
Sure.
So I was just like, let me just try and be proactive. Yeah. And I actually was all belly when I was pregnant.
You look so cute.
Thank you.
I saw the pics.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was like, in my head, I was like, I guess like when you find out that you're pregnant, you have all these ideas of like, especially your first time. I'm sure maybe it's different like once you have multiple kids. Yep. But your first time, you're like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to look like 5 months, 6 months when the bump starts to show, or like, oh, my bump's not showing yet. Like, it's like a whole bunch of new things and you don't really know what to expect. And as I was going along in my pregnancy, I was like, wow, I thought I was going to be like, not carry well at all. I thought like, I don't know, I just felt, I don't know if it was also because my pregnancy, I tried to, like I said, stay the least stressed as possible. I had so much love around me. Yeah. Like, it was such a great pregnancy. I felt like when I look back on my pictures, I'm like, I was glowing. My hair was like luscious. And like, I just like really appreciate that time looking back now, because it is one of the most vulnerable times in a woman's life.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it's reflective also in my son, because he's just like such a loving little being. But yeah, it was, I did work out during my pregnancy. Now after postpartum, not as much, but like you said, I really was seeing the breastfeeding helping. So I was like, I'm gonna hold on for as long as I can.
Okay.
And I've tried to do things here and there.
We do some Pilates together, just for fun.
Yeah, I'm terrible at Pilates. Are you good?
Girl, I love it.
Oh
I'm
my
really
gosh.
becoming an instructor. It's like my favorite thing.
You would probably laugh at me then.
No,
it's so hard.
And honestly, sometimes people are always doing on a reformer. It's good on the mat too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes a reformer can have you busting your ass. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing it on the floor, it's like we still getting the workout.
Okay,
you know?
Yeah, let's do that. Because I definitely need to find a routine again for sure.
That's so fun.
So yeah, postpartum has definitely been a lot more challenging to find the time and just find the energy, honestly, even if I do have the time. But I know I need to get back into it. So yeah, I'm going to take you up on that.
Regardless.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So obviously you're into astrology. I'm into astrology. And I love playing games with my guests. So we're going to get into the zodiac of it all.
Okay.
We're playing best and worst zodiac edition.
Okay.
Now I'll read a scenario and you're going to tell me which sign fits best. Strictly based on vibes and lived experience. No textbooks, no apologies, lots of shade. Okay. Best sign to share an Airbnb with.
Ooh. I need somebody that's going to be clean and like, I might say a Virgo because you guys are particular. So I already know you have everything.
Girl, it's going to be tidy. We're going to clean up your stuff. That's how.
Yeah, yes. I'm going to say a Virgo.
Okay. Best sign to calm you down during a spiral.
That is a great question. I will say, which is probably not what most people would say, but in my own experience, I would say a Leo.
No, I agree with y'all.
Which I think people mostly people think that Leos are really like in your face and whatever else.
They're wrong about them.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a lot of misconceptions about Leos.
Leos are absolutely so loyal, so kind, so fiercely protective of the people in their life.
Very true.
The only thing with Leos is they're crazy when it comes to love.
Yeah, they're a little crazy.
They gonna get rid of somebody.
But a Leo friend is, I think, a lifetime friend. Yeah. So I would say a Leo.
Yeah, love Leo. Okay, worst sign to call when you're already overthinking.
An Aries.
Because they be going to the summit. What's wrong with them? I love y'all Aries so bad, but honestly, I have a lot of like very close Aries friends, and I think really what it is because they'll send you over the edge because they just say hardcore.
The funniest thing is I have one of my best friends is an Aries, so she's definitely going to be like, but it's funny just because if you're spiraling already, they're going to spiral with you. And they're going to be like, but they'll try and reel it in, but she's for sure going to spiral with me.
And they're blunt and plain about it. Even like, and that's why I don't think he doesn't love me. And that's the thing, he probably don't.
It's very, yes.
Huh? How did we get you supposed to say, no, he don't? You too busy agreeing with me. Anyway, best sign to give honest advice without hurting your feelings. I wonder who's going to get this.
I'm going to say a Virgo again, and I just say that. I say that specifically because of my brother. My brother will always...
I love your brother now, too. Wait a minute, August or September?
He's late August, basically right end of August, the 30th.
I'm the 26th. We neck and neck.
Yeah, he's very, very honest with me. Extremely honest with me. But he's my older brother, so he's always been protective and stuff, but he never wants to hurt my feelings. But he'll say it in a way that, like, the message translates.
That's fire.
But yeah, a Virgo.
Okay, worst sign to ask for brutal honesty.
A Scorpio?
Yeah, because y'all also will cut deep.
Yeah.
Because you guys just give it so plain and so just like, and it's like, guys, really?
I think a lot of my friends have learned, like, if they really want the brutal honest truth to come to me, but like if you're not in the slightest quite ready for it, go to someone else. Don't come over here because I'm definitely going to give you the brutal honest truth.
That is too funny. Okay, best sign to trust with making group plans. I know who this could be in my mind.
Group plans. It's definitely not a Libra. I will say that. One of my best friends is a Libra, and he...
The shade of it all.
I mean, I would say a Scorpio is really good at having everything together. I would say a Virgo also, because you guys have all of your ducks in
Capricorns
a
don't get
row.
a lot of love here, but they're pretty good.
Really?
You don't think that?
I don't have a lot of Capricorns around me, and the ones that I do, I don't think I would go to them for group plans.
Sorry, Capricorns. I tried to get you both up in there. Worst sign to have as your assistant.
Oh, a Libra.
I had that once.
How'd it go?
Leave it at that.
They're just too indecisive. They are so indecisive. My best friend will go to the shop and it will be as simple as picking a cereal. And he'll be in there for 15 minutes. I'm like, it's not rocket science. Just pick something. It's like, well, what if I don't feel like eating this tomorrow? Then you don't eat it tomorrow. Yeah, it's too indecisive.
Get out the vibe and get in the real.
Yeah.
Like, best sign to read the room.
That's a good question. There's a couple signs, I think. Best sign to read the room. This is probably going to be biased again, but I'm going to say a Scorpio.
Ooh.
I think we read rooms pretty well.
I think that Scorpios do read rooms pretty well. If there was somebody else that I would say read the room, I would say an Aquarius.
Really?
They always being sneaky somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
You know? They always, we know. Y'all know we know. Y'all, everybody know that's what y'all be on.
They definitely are sneaky, yeah.
Yeah. They love doing that. Okay. Worst sign to have in your corner during a fight.
Worst sign.
It depends on what kind of fight, too.
It
like
does.
Physical or...
It does depend. Maybe a Cancer. Just because they are loyal. Don't get me wrong. They are loyal. But I just feel like they're so loving and so like peacemaker-ish.
The reason why I would actually say they be good is because they, with that mouthpiece.
You think so?
They are lethal.
Okay.
They're like a Lazarus tongue. They will literally cut you to the core.
Okay.
But if it's a fist fight,
that's
I might want Aries up in there.
That's what I was thinking more of. Yeah,
Aries. You know they up.
Yeah.
Why is this the move? Okay, just 2 more. Okay, so sign most likely to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Ooh. It's definitely not a Scorpio, I'll tell you that. Might not be a Virgo either, because you guys are maybe a Sagittarius?
Excellent choice.
Yeah. I think
Excellent
a Sagittarius.
Choice. Because they're going to use everything they have to get it done. They're going to be strong when they need to be. They're going to be funny when they need to be. They're going to go internal with it. Like, they have a lot of range.
Yeah, they're very layered. I will say that. Both of my parents are Sagittarius.
I'm a Sag moon.
Yeah.
So, last one, sign most likely to get killed first. I know exactly who this is.
In the apocalypse?
In the apocalypse. I know exactly. It's on the tip of my... I'm going to wait till she goes.
I'm scared now.
Girl, I know exactly who this is.
Ooh.
Because they just walking around somewhere being cute.
What sign is that?
Taurus.
Because
that's all they be doing. Walking around somewhere, looking sexy and cute without even trying. Y'all are getting out.
That's funny.
That's what them Tauruses mean. Think about every Taurus you know. They somewhere being cute.
Yeah.
And they ain't saying too much. They just like,
and they're out of here in an apocalypse. I don't know. I think I know a few Tauruses that might not be the first to go. They definitely won't be the last. They definitely won't be the last one standing. But I don't know. I feel like I would go more with a Libra.
The Libras, because they over there with the scales somewhere.
Yeah, they can't decide what to do. Next thing you know, done.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was good.
That was a fun game.
Well, thank you so much,
thank you
Ella.
for having
Seriously,
me.
I've had a ball with you. It's just so great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. That conversation with Ella was everything. She is such a good time. Hearing her talk about her music, her family, and the choices she's making right now felt real in the best way. Grounded, honest, and intentional. She's never compromising herself for anyone, and none of us should. So wherever you are in your own life, make decisions that feel true to you and ignore the rest. I know I do. See y'all next time. Baby, this is Keke Palmer.